and welcome to Dermvela's beauty blog, Skinterview. I'm your host, Vinita Sivamani, and I'm here today with Integrative dermatologist, Cybele Fishman. Dr. Fishman has appeared on the Dr. Oz show. She also has a private practice in New York and is an assistant clinical professor of dermatology at Mount Sinai Hospital. Thank you for being with us, Cybele.
Pleasure. Thank you for having me.
So for our first question, we'd love to hear what really inspired you to develop an integrative dermatology practice.
Sure. I think I would say it was two main things. One was it never made sense to me when I was told that what you ate didn't affect your skin. I just didn't understand how what you put in your body wouldn't affect the largest organ in your body, and that just didn't ring true for me. And I think the other thing was my burgeoning interest in yoga. And, yoga is so much about mind, body, spirit. And I felt that my allopathic training kind of ignored looking for balance in the body. And so I think my interest in integrative dermatology really came out of my interest in my own life and the way I was living my own life. And I think that's why it feels very real and true to me.
Sure, terrific. And so how would you say integrative dermatology differs from a standard dermatology practice?
Yeah, I've thought a lot about this and what it means to call myself an integrative dermatologist. And I think for me, it's about looking at the person holistically. And that's a word that gets thrown around a lot and has lost a lot of meaning. But for me, what it means is trying to really look at the whole person. How is the person sleeping? How are they eating? What are they not eating? What should they be eating? What's their worldview? Do they have love in their life? How do they manage stress? All these things so much come into who a person is and where they are at that particular point when they come to see me. And so for me, that's very, very important to sort of get an understanding of where somebody is in his or her life, in order to treat them the most compassionately, really. And I think also being an integrative dermatologist, you should at least be open to, if not able to use, lots of different kinds of modalities to help people with their skin. Just even being open-minded, I think sometimes is enough, and patients are so appreciative of that. But I think it's, and also just educating yourself, self-education on, things, thinking outside the box when it comes to treating skin. Yeah.
That's a great approach. So what would you say are skincare essentials for those who are really busy? So we know that, of course, you have a private practice, you're an assistant professor, you're a mom. So what are some of the tips that you have for those who have really busy schedules?
Yes. My life is a freak show, a happy freak show, but I am very, very low maintenance, and I probably do best with patients who are looking for a low maintenance approach. So I really have three things in my skincare routine that are very important to me topically. One is a prescription strength retinol, one is a really good antioxidant, and one is an SPF with zinc. I think that's really the foundation of a good skincare regimen. And then, I try to make good food choices more often than not. And I do yoga, so I don't go insane. And that really is part of my regimen. And I don't do a lot. And I think actually that's the secret sometimes to having nice skin, is doing less.
Mm-hmm. Sure, yeah. And so speaking of doing less, what would you say are some of your favorite, more natural skincare remedies?
Sure. I'm a big fan of facial oils. I love that they don't need a lot of junk in them. I use rosehip seed oil. I use frankincense oil. I love those. I think smell is very important. So I always encourage people to use something that they like the smell of, because smell is connected to the emotional center of our brain. So I think it's so important to use products that you like the smell of. What else? I think a kefir yogurt mask is terrific for perioral dermatitis and rosacea. I think it helps bring balance back to the skin that's been taken out of balance by harsh products and alkaline products, foaming cleansers, things like that. Raw manuka honey, I think, is a great spot treatment for pimples. So those are some of my favorite natural products, I would say.
Ooh, those are some good secrets. So how can our followers find a dermatologist that's really the right fit for them?
Yeah, it's hard. First of all, I think for patients, if you feel that you're not listened to, you need to find a new dermatologist, whether that person is integrative or not. You need to feel that you're listened to and that you're cared for, right? Because should be the heart, I think, of going through any kind of healing practitioners that you should feel cared for and listened to. I think word of mouth is great. I think Googling online sometimes can be really helpful. I think what you guys are doing is great because there are some of us out there, and this will hopefully make it easier for like-minded patients to find us. Yeah.
And so for our final question, if you could give our followers one piece of skincare advice, what would it be?
Well, it has to be 3, but they're short, I promise. One is do less. People do way too much to their skin, and it's pretty good at taking care of itself. The second thing I would say is don't jump on every beauty trend that you read about in a beauty blog. It may not be best for you. And lastly, and I always say this to my patients, just be the least inflamed person you can be, because then you'll have your best possible skin.
Well, great advice. Thank you so much for your time, Cybele. We're delighted to meet integrative dermatologists like you, and thank you so much for the care and compassion you provide to your patients.
And thanks again for having me.
And for our viewers, be sure to tune in again soon. Thank you.